David Gerard here. I'm in Heavener, a town of about 3,000 people in eastern central Oklahoma. I'm in Hill Cemetery, sitting at the gravestone of Gloria Farley. I never met Mrs. Farley, but I received 2 letters from her in the fall of 2001. I received them because when I was a reporter and columnist for the Muskogee Phoenix, I wrote 2 columns questioning and challenging and mostly making light of Mrs. Farley's life work. I hurt her feelings and she was understandably upset. And what was her achievement in life? Well, she or her family had it written on her gravestone, on the back of it, and there it is, Epigraphic Explorer. I will give Mrs. Farley credit where credit is due. She loved to explore, and she traveled the U.S. painstakingly looking for epigraphs, inscriptions in stone and rock, to translate, interpret, and date, which is what an epigrapher does. Miss Farley fancied herself an accomplished epigrapher. Unfortunately, here is where I and a lot of other people differ with Miss Farley. Miss Farley proposed years ago that some indistinct and obscure markings on a rock outside Heavener, which is where I am now, were the work of Norsemen passing through Oklahoma long before Columbus. This wasn't a new theory when Miss Farley proposed it. It was a spurious theory then, and it's a spurious theory now. It's a theory based on conjecture, hoaxes, and bad science. Historically, one of the best explanations for the Heavener markings are that they were made by Boy Scouts in the early 20th century looking to pull a prank. But Miss Farley convinced the state legislature to make this mountain hillside a state park and endorse it as the state's official Viking site. Usually you can convince a state legislature of anything as long as that anything has an economic interest, in this case tourism. It didn't pan out, and the legislature has since handed the park over to the city of Heavener, and the park is now run by a non-profit. Miss Farley's theorizing didn't end with Vikings. She also believed Egyptians, Celts, and Numidians made their way to the Americas as much as 2,000 and 3,000 years ago, leaving mysterious markings behind on a variety of rocks and stone. She was spurred on in this thought by Barry Fell, a marine biologist at Harvard who suffered a midlife crisis and turned to epigraphy for his next adventure. Miss Farley's education in epigraphy was mostly self-taught. A person can certainly be self-taught, but self-taught does not mean a person can make up their own scientific methodology. Self-taught does not mean you surround yourself with friends and other amateurs, as Miss Farley did, so you can avoid the scrutiny of real scientists who have spent years training in their field and hold themselves to a rigorous standard of documentation and reasoning. Miss Farley had zeal. She had a curious mind and a desire to know the reason for things. There is nothing wrong with Miss Farley asking the question, what if? The problem with Miss Farley and Mr. Fell and all the other pseudoscientists who appear on sensational TV shows passing off speculation for history is that they never answered the questions, what is reasonable? What is credible? What can be backed up with evidence, hard facts, and logic? Since Miss Farley's worked at Heavener, another amateur, an area pastor, concluded that the stone also contains French inscriptions left by members of De La Salle's party. Another amateur team, brothers from nearby Tallahena, proposed that one pope faked his death, came to North America with Norsemen, and etched sacred secrets on the Heavener stone. It would seem, according to these pseudoscientists, this indistinct stone in Heavener, Oklahoma, is one of the most popular stones for inscriptions in all the world.